నేను గడిపెట్టేనా ఈ టైంలో వస్తుంటారు కదా. Good afternoon, students. Today I will talk about two prescriptions and one CCR. Two prescriptions are PPH and acute attack of angina. First one is the postpartum hemorrhage. Prescribe a drug for a case of first prescription is the prescribe a drug for a case of postpartum hemorrhage. What is meant by hemorrhage? It is nothing but a blood loss or bleeding. So when it occurs, postpartum hemorrhage occurs after delivery. So PPH is defined as a loss of more blood within the first 24 hours following childbirth. Hemorrhage is the most common cause occur after the placenta is delivered. It is a excessive bleeding after childbirth. PPH is the excessive bleeding after childbirth within the first 24 hours following childbirth. And causes of postpartum bleeding includes loss of tone in the uterine muscles or placenta failing to come out completely. So we'll see. Causes of PPH is that once a baby is delivered, the uterus normally continues to contract and expels the placenta. So after the placenta is delivered, these contractions help compress the bleeding vessels in the area where the placenta was attached. So here, when it will occur, once the baby is delivered, normally the uterus continue to contract and expels the placenta. And after the placenta is delivered, these contractions help compress the bleeding vessels in the area where the placenta was attached. So if the uterus does not contract strongly enough, it's called uterine atony. These blood vessels bleed freely and hemorrhage occurs. In this condition, we can give ergot alkaloids. Ergot alkaloids is a natural alkaloid and uterine stimulates. It increases the uterine motility. These ergot alkaloids are ergometrin, methyl ergometrin, dihydroergometrin. These three are ergot alkaloids which is used in obstetrics. What is the action of ergot alkaloids? Ergot alkaloids, it acts on 5-hydroxytryptamine receptors. It effective orally, can be given both intramuscularly and intravenously. It is a powerful uterine stimulant. The force and frequency of uterine contractions are increased by ergot alkaloids. So the force and frequency of uterine contractions are increased by ergot alkaloids. All the parts of uterus, including fundus, body. Ergometrin action on uterus, it causes contraction of uterus. All the parts of uterus, including fundus, body and lower segment of uterus contracts. It has sustained contractions as there is compression of bleeding arteries resulting in the stoppage of bleeding. So it is used in postpartum hemorrhage. Here, ergometrin causes some vasoconstriction which help to reduce bleeding from the uterus in the postpartum stage. So what is which drug Now we discussed about ergometrin and PPH. Now prescribe a drug for a case of postpartum hemorrhage is a ergometrin maleate injection 0.2 to 0.3 milligrams intramuscularly. When it is given at the delivery of anterior shoulder. After immediately we can give ergometrin to reduce blood loss and prevents postpartum hemorrhage. Okay, this is about PPH. What is PPH? Postpartum hemorrhage. It is a excessive bleeding after childbirth. It causes postpartum bleeding include loss of tone in the uterine muscles or placenta failing to come out completely. In this condition, we can give ergotolculoids, ergometrin. So what is the what is the purpose of this ergotolculoids? Ergotolculoid ergometrin is the uterine stimulant. It increases the uterine motility, and it contracts all the parts of the uterus, including fundus, body, and lower segment of the uterus. It has sustained contractions as there is a compression of bleeding arteries, so it's resulting in the stoppage of bleeding and used in PPH. So ergometrin maleate is 0.2 to 0.3 milligrams we can give intramuscularly at the delivery of anterior shoulder. So we have to give this ergometrin injection to reduce bleeding and prevent postpartum hemorrhage. And for severe bleeding, we can give ergometrin along with oxytocin. Ergometrin 0 for severe bleeding, ergometrin 0.5 intramuscularly along with oxytocin. The oxytocin is also uterine stimulant drug. Next prescription is the acute attack of angina. Second one is the prescribed drugs for a case of acute attack of angina. What is angina? Angina is a type of chest pain due to reduced blood flow to the heart. It is a primary symptom of ischemic heart disease caused by transient episodes of myocardial ischemia. It is characterized by angina is characterized by sudden severe crushing chest pain that may radiate to the neck, jaw, back, or arms. It is nothing but a chest pain due to reduced blood flow to the heart, and it is characterized by a severe crushing type of chest pain may radiate to the neck and back and arms, shoulder, left arm, left shoulder. Then types of angina is the three types: stable or classical angina, unstable angina, and principal angina. First one is the exertional angina or stable angina or classical angina. How it will occur? It occurs. It is either due to reduced oxygen supply or increased oxygen demand to the myocardium. This type of angina is provoked by exercise, emotion, or eating, or coitus due to obstruction of coronary arteries by erythema. This classical angina is either due to reduced oxygen supply to the myocardium or increased oxygen demand to the myocardium. This type of angina is provoked by exercise, emotion because of obstruction of coronaries by erythema. Obstruction of coronaries by atheroma. And next, second one is the variant princemental angina or vasospastic angina. It is invented by American cardiologist Myron Princemetal. So it's called Princemetal's angina. It generally attacks occurs at resting stage and during sleep due to spasm of coronaries. This variant and Princemetal angina occurs due to spasm of coronaries at the stage of resting stage and during sleep. And third one is the unstable angina. It has occurs due to spasm on the partial obstruction of coronaries. Due to spasm and partial obstruction of coronaries. These are the three types of angina. Classical angina. It is occurs either due to reduced oxygen supply or increased oxygen demand to the myocardium. And variant or principal angina, it is generally occurs due to spasm of coronaries at resting stage and during sleep. And unstable angina due to spasm and partial obstruction of coronaries. Here you can see this is the normal artery. Blood flow is also normal. And here some narrow of the artery, some it obstructs to blood flow. So what are the clinical features? Angina is a symptom of ischemic heart disease. It is characterized by sudden severe substernal discomfort of pain which may radiate to the left shoulder along with the flexor surface of the left arm. So clinical features are pain over the sternum and spreads down to the left arm. Also it radiates backside and upper abdomen, neck, jaw, or even teeth. And this type of pain is dull and heaviness are crushing sensation. And other clinical features also breathlessness, chest discomfort, nausea, fatigue, dizziness, and profuse sweating. Sweating will get more, and anxiety. So these are the symptoms of angina. So what are the risk factors? It can precipitate, risk factors are the age, sex, obesity, smoking can precipitate angina and diabetes, and physical exertion, cold exposure, and intense emotions and heavy meals, and also it can precipitate hypertension. So these are the risk factors of angina. And what are the investigations? Investigations can do the ECG. Usually ECG is normal, but during the pain there will be elevation or depression of ST segment with or without T wave inversions. So you can take ECG and coronary angiogram and blood test for cardiac biomarkers like troponin tests. So what are the purpose of drugs to treatment? For angina, it relieves symptoms, regression of the disease progress, and prevents myocardial infarction and prevents death. So now for acute angina, we have to give nitrates. It reduces the preload. It is a short-acting drug. It reduces the preload and afterload and dilate the major coronary arteries. The short-acting drugs are glyceryl trinitrate, and long-acting drugs are isosorbide dinitrate, isosorbide mononitrate, sodium nitrate, and amyl nitrate, and pentaethritol tetranitrate. So in acute attack of angina, we have to give nitrates, glyceryl trinitrate, glyceryl trinitrate to reduce preload, afterload, and dilate major coronary arteries. Here you can see mechanism of action of the nitrates. Nitrates are converted into these nitrates are vasodilators. They are converted into the nitric oxide. This nitric oxide activates guanyl cyclase, which in turn to the increases the cyclic AMP level. This guanyl cyclase, which in turns and increases the synthesis of cyclic AMP, cyclic GMP. This cyclic GMP, this cyclic GMP brings about the myosin light chain dephosphorylates, myosin light chain dephosphorylates, myosin light chain phosphorylated to form myosin light chain light chain. So in general, myosin light phosphorylated myosin combines with actin to cause contraction of the smooth muscle. So here this cyclic GMP brings about the dephosphorylation of protein kinase. It prevents the interaction of actin. It prevents the interaction of actin with myosin to form contraction. So the cyclic GMP synthesis of cyclic GMP levels is increased, and it inhibits or prevents the uh, uh, protein kinase, the myosin protein kinase to form myosin light chain. It causes relaxation of the smooth muscle. This is about nitrates, mechanism of action of the nitrates. Here nitrates is converted into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is, excuse me, nitric oxide, which in turn it activates guanylyl cyclase. This guanylyl cyclase is which in turn activates or increase the synthesis of cyclic GMP levels. These cyclic GMP levels are acts which this cyclic AMP, the cyclic synthesis of this cyclic GMP is acts on myosin light chain phosphorylated this protein kinase. This inhibits or prevents the interaction with myosin with actin to form. It causes contraction of the smooth muscles. So this it prevents this conversion, this interaction to cause myosin light chain dephosphorylated myosin light chain. It causes relaxation of the smooth muscle. So nitroglycerin is converted into nitric oxide. It acts on guanylyl cyclase, and nitrous oxide activates, increase the cyclic GMP levels. The cyclic GMP dephosphorylates myosin light chain to the dephosphorylate myosin light chain to the myosin light chain. It causes muscle relaxation. So what are the uses of nitrates? It is used in acute attacks of angina, acute left ventricular failure, long-term prophylaxis of angina, unstable angina, congestive heart failure due to ischemic heart diseases, esophageal spasm, and some cyanide poisoning. So here you can prescribe a drug for a case of acute attack angina. You have to write name, age, sex, and address. This is the superscription. And diagnosis is the acute attack of angina. Prescription is the tablet is glyceryl trinitrate 0.5 milligrams milligram to 3 milligrams tablets. One tablet containing 0.5 milligram. It can take sublingually. This tablet is available as a transdermal patch also. After pain will reduce, you can split this glyceryl trinitrate. If pain is more, means you can take more tablets. Take more tablet if necessary. Review after 7 days. This is about prescription of acute attack of angina. What is angina? It is a symptom of ischemic heart disease characterized by the severe, sudden or substernal discomfort of the pain which radiates to the left shoulder along with the flexor surface of the left arm. For this, in this condition, we can give glyceryl trinitrate 0.5 milligram to 3 tablets. Glyceryl trinitrate ointment may be applied over the chest, especially to the control angina at night. And transdermal patch is also available. It delivers nitroglycerin continuously for 24 hours. It is also used in vasospastic angina. It relieves pain by relieving coronary spasm, and it is also used in unstable angina. Further, glyceryl trinitrate intravenously to help to relieve pain. And it is also glyceryl trinitrate uses. It is also used in cyanide poisoning. Cyanide rapidly binds to the glyceryl trinitrate used in cyanide poisoning. In case cyanide, some poisoning cases, cyanide poisoning cases, rapidly, if swallows cyanide, rapidly it binds to the cytochrome oxidase and other vital enzymes. It causes inhibition of the cellular. It causes inhibition of the cellular respiration. Here you can see. Uses of nitrates. It is used in cyanide poisoning, so it is rapidly bind to the cytochrome oxidase and other vital enzymes. It causes inhibition of the cellular respiration and blocks the utilization of oxygen. So it requires more immediate treatment in cyanide poisoning cases, because it causes inhibition of cellular respiration and blocks the utilization of the oxygen. So it requires immediate treatment with amyl nitrate or sodium thiosulfate or sodium nitrate. These are the drugs of these drugs belongs to nitrates, which is used in cyanide poisoning. Amyl nitrate is given by inhalation, or sodium nitrate is given by IV injection. This nitrates converts to the hemoglobin to methemoglobin, which has a high affinity for the cyanide, and binds to the cyanide forming cyanide methemoglobin, which is easily excreted in the kidneys. But early treatment is very important. This nitrates converts to the hemoglobin to methemoglobin. For cyanide, it binds to the cyanide forming the cyanomethemoglobin, which is easily excreted in the kidneys. So we have to give. We can give in the we can used in cyanide poisoning cases also, and also it is used in myocardial infarction and cardiac failure. Because due to it has vasodilatory property. Two prescriptions over, and another one is the criticize CCR. CCR is the criticize, correct and rewrite the following prescription for a patient with drug-induced Parkinsonism. So here prescription is the levodopa 200 milligrams twice daily, bromocriptine 10 milligrams twice daily, benztropine mesylate 2 milligrams per day. So here prescription diagnosis is the drug-induced Parkinsonism. Prescription for a patient with drug-induced Parkinsonism. What is Parkinsonism? It is a chronic progressive motor disorders characterized by rigidity, tremors, excessive salivation, and abnormality of posture and expressionless face and mood changes. These are the symptoms of Parkinsonism. It is characterized by it is a chronic or progressive or motor disorder characterized by the rigidity, tremors, excessive salivation, or abnormality of posture, gait, or mask-like face or expression-like face, and mood changes will occur in Parkinsonism. So anti-Parkinson drugs usually it can only help to reduce the symptoms and improve the quality of life. Anti-Parkinson drugs, these drugs can only help to reduce the symptoms and increase the quality of life. There is two treatment strategies. One is the to increase dopaminergic activity or to decrease cholinergic activity. So here in drug-induced Parkinsonism, what will happen? Parkinsonism is a neurodegenerative disorder. There is a decreased dopaminergic activity and increased cholinergic activity. Means, so we have to, in Parkinsonism, students, what will happen in drug-induced Parkinsonism? The Parkinsonism is a neurodegenerative disorder. There is decreased dopaminergic activity or increased due to increased cholinergic activity. So we have to increase dopaminergic activity and decreased cholinergic activity. So here drugs like, you can see, which drugs induce Parkinsonism? Metoclopramide and some antipsychotics induce drug Parkinsonism. Here you can see this is the criticize, correct and rewrite the following prescription for a patient with drug-induced Parkinsonism. Prescription is the levodopa 200 milligrams twice daily, bromocriptine 10 milligrams twice daily, and benzotropine mesylate 2 milligrams per day. Here you can see drug, no super prescription means name, age, sex, address, like that. There is no super prescription. Superscription, there is no superscription, and diagnosis also not there. Here diagnosis also not mentioned, and drug names are not in capital letters. So you have to change and you have to write correct, criticize and correct and rewrite the following prescription. There is no superscription, the diagnosis is not mentioned, and drug names also not in capitals. So criticism is a no superscription in this prescription, and the diagnosis is not mentioned, and drug names are not in capitals, and discontinue the drug that has resulted in Parkinsonism symptoms. And levodopa should not be given for drug-induced Parkinsonism, because what is the levodopa? Levodopa is a dopamine precursor. So in this drug-induced Parkinsonism, what will happen? Metoclopramide and some antipsychotic drugs blocks D2 receptors. So there is no use when it blocks D2 receptors. So levodopa do not enter to the blood-brain barrier. It should not be given for drug-induced Parkinsonism. There is no use to give in drug-induced Parkinsonism, because those drugs are blocked D2 receptors. And another one is the benztropine mesylate is a drug of choice which is useful in the controlling muscular rigidity, tremors and subarachnoid silaria, because it is an anticholinergic drug. It is a drug of choice for drug-induced Parkinsonism, because it is centrally anticholinergic drug. It reduces tremors, rigidity, and salivation. So we can give benztropine in drug-induced Parkinsonism to reduce rigidity, tremors, and silaria. And antihistamines may be added to produce sedation. So correct. This is the criticism of the drug-induced Parkinsonism. So there is no super prescription in the prescription, no super prescription in the prescription. There is no diagnosis, and drug names are not in capitals. You should criticize and correct and rewrite. Correct prescription is the you should write superscription like name with a degree and register number, address and contact number and name, patient name, address. And diagnosis is also important. Drug-induced Parkinsonism and prescription is the benztropine 1 milligram twice daily for 7 days. You can give for 7 days. If symptoms is reduced, reduce the drug dosage. And if symptoms are more, it means you can take more. And one tablet to be taken twice daily and dispense 14 tablets of benztropine and review after 7 days. This is the correct prescription of the drug-induced Parkinsonism. Prescription of the drug-induced Parkinsonism. Here, benztropine is the anticholinergic drug. It acts centrally. Central anticholinergic drug. It reduces tremors, salivation, and rigidity. In drug-induced Parkinsonism, how it will occur? Drug-induced Parkinsonism, usually antipsychotic drugs and metoclopramide drugs. These two drugs are can induce Parkinsonism by blocking dopaminergic receptors. So levodopa also is not effective because dopamine receptors blocked by drugs like metoclopramide and phenothiazine like antipsychotic drug. So this levodopa is a dopamine precursor. This dopamine, normally dopamine do not cross blood-brain barrier. This along with levodopa is decarboxylates peripherally. So it should given along with carbidopa only. Here you cannot give levodopa and bromkiptin, because bromkiptin also agonist, D2 receptor agonist. So here metoclopramide and antipsychotic drugs blocked D2 receptors. So there is no use to give those drugs. So we have to give, we can prescribe benztropine 1 milligrams to reduce rigidity and tremors and salaria, those type of to reduce to prescribe benztropine to reduce tremors, rigidity and salaria. So this is about prescription of drug-induced Parkinsonism. So in this class we discussed two prescriptions. In this class we discussed two prescriptions. One is the PH, postpartum hemorrhage and acute attack of angina, and CCR about drug-induced Parkinsonism. Thank you.